Yo! What? Oh. Yo! Oh! What? Oh. Okay, wait, I fixed it. Yo! Oh! What? Oh. Okay, wait, I fixed it. No, I did not. Okay, yo, whoa, please stop. Okay, yo, whoa, please stop. Yo, that was the most like demonic thing I've ever heard. Yo, that was the most like demonic thing I've ever heard. Yo, stop! Yo, stop! Yo, chat. Oh my god, bro. Yo, chat. Oh my... Jesus Christ, bro. Oh my god, bro. My streams, like, they always start up so weird. Oh, I just gotta be something stupid like that. Alright, I'm gonna unmute this. Wait, no. No. Desktop. Should I do disabled? Oh my god, dude, that was so cursed. Alright. Oh my god, bro. Yo, my ears are like ringing right now. Okay, so we're gonna be reacting to the craziest confession videos. Let's just start with this, I guess. And I've watched a lot of these. Just so you know.
To Oliver,
can y'all hear this? To Oliver,
instead of buying a stadium hot dog, is like putting away $20. With the Wells Fargo mobile app, tracking his savings is simple.
Dude, oh my god, bro. That was bad. Yo, why do I gotta watch 2 unskippable ads?
Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're getting into some horrifying confession threads.
Yo, Snook is the go, bro. Chat, everybody sub to Snook.
This is a series where I read viewer-submitted confessions and also
my ears hurt. Same, bro.
Confessions from Reddit. And to be honest, they are all just insane, horrifying, and downright disturbing. And if you'd like to have
how's the volume, guys? How's the volume?
Confession in a future video, please send to the email on screen now.
I'm snooking it!
Thank you, and I just think you'll want to stick around because
we're snooking it, bro.
Are just beyond wild and shocking. And please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps more than you know.
Sub to Snook, bro.
And this video will be long enough already. So without further ado, let's get into some horrifying confession threads.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
I was once involved with a group of people that murdered an old man. I originally posted this in r/truecrime, but
now there's 3 people in here, Beast.
That
I'm gonna still call you Beast. There's 3 people in here. I originally posted
post here. For my own safety, I'll be keeping some of the details of this story a little vague, but it's mostly the truth, with a few guesses where my memory fails me, as this was about 20 or so years ago. Some background. I was homeless on and off between 13 to 16 years old, right around the tail end of the 90s.
Okay.
And had little to no contact with
so this guy's old. This guy's an unk. Oh my god, this is 2 hours. Yeah, this guy's an unk. I'm not even gonna lie.
I was a moderately frequent drug user, but at the time of this story, I was mostly into weed and mushrooms.
What is mushrooms, by the way? I know what weed is, but I don't know what mushrooms are.
With this story containing my first experience with crystal and tweakers. In short, I was a typical 90s teenage dirtbag with little to no moral compass.
Okay.
I've lived most of my life in major metropolitan areas. However, my wanderings at this time had led me to a somewhat rural town about 2 hours south of Canada, somewhere around the Pacific Northwest.
I think it's just toxic stuff like high things. Yeah, it's like some kind of drug.
Through adventures in drug use, I had made a few new friends. Let's call them Jeremy, my closest friend.
Chat, that's gonna be in my movie. A guy named Jeremy. Thank y'all for the support on the movie, by the way. Karen.
In this group. Karen, my girlfriend, and Tony, a fellow teenage dirtbag.
Why is this guy saying dirtbag?
We spent our
so
days
much?
figuring out ways to get our hands on some weed, for the most part, which included everything from panhandling to burglary. A couple of times a week, we'd go out and see Jeremy's.
Isn't that like normal in the 80s though? Like, I'm pretty sure like people in the 80s like robbed houses all the time. Or maybe I'm tweaking. Maybe like bad teenagers like this guy who take mushrooms.
Girlfriend, who was under house arrest. While out there, we'd often roam the neighborhoods looking for unlocked cars to rob, shoplift from the local shops, and get drunk on cheap, disgusting wine. Looking at you, Carlo Rosie. One day, after an afternoon of minor crimes and drugs, we met up with someone I hadn't yet encountered, but who was known to my local group. Let's call him Garrett.
Okay.
Garrett was the only one of us over 18, which at the time provided a certain amount of cool factor and helped us spend our...
Dog, I'm going to middle school, by the way. Nice, bro. I'm in 8th grade. I'm about to go to high school.
ill-gotten funds on
Hey, bro, lock in for middle school, bro. Middle school's no joke. You gotta take your grades seriously.
a small amount of crystal. We were all crashing at Karen's house while her parents were out of town, and we all got high, this being my first time. After we were all lit, the bag was empty.
Wait, like when you're high, ain't like everything like bright? And you're, I know like you start tweaking. You start 6th grade tomorrow on a Tuesday. Yeah, I started mine last week on Tuesday. F middle school at this point, I'm gonna drop out. Don't drop out, bro. Lock in. Lock in, bro. Lock in.
Garrett started talking about
School matters, bro. School matters. Even if it seems like it's just BS. Like, once you realize it's really gonna help you. And, like, you gotta just lock in, like, take middle school seriously, because high school's gonna be hard. And you need to, like, be prepared for that, you know?
and some more.
I'm not here to give you a lecture. I'm not your parents. We're here to watch some disturbing confessions. But yeah, just talk to me if you want. Don't worry about it.
However, we are all broke. Garrett had a
How
brilliant
are you broke and you still afford drugs? Aren't drugs expensive?
plan for getting a large chunk of money quickly. It seems Garrett had a childhood friend whose grandfather lived in the area and
Oh, are they gonna kill the grandfather? Because that's the old man.
kept a lot of cash on hand
What?
as
Keep
he
pausing,
didn't
bro.
trust
Oh my God.
banks. Garrett's plan was
Dog, you can't be talking. You were laughing in class. I saw that vid. That's true. But, like, now I'm taking my grades seriously. I'm telling you that because, so you don't make the same mistakes I did.
to put on
I
a
made a lot of mistakes in middle school that I'm not doing now.
mask, grab some knives, and scare the old man into giving us his money.
Oh my God.
The others were very interested as they wanted to get high. However, I was fairly adamantly against it. I won't pretend I had some sort of a moral objection, but strong arm robbery was a bit above everything I'd gotten involved with. And quite frankly, I was scared. Additionally,
I gotta see your grades. I don't trust your ass. I got 100s, bro. I promise. I can make a post sometime. I have 100s.
we hadn't cased the place at all, so we had no information about his neighbors, when people left/returned home, if and when people...
So they're gonna go blood? Oh my God, that's such a bad idea. Obsidian! What's good, bro? Oh my gosh. You are here. How you doing, Obsidian? How are you doing? We're watching the most disturbing confessions on YouTube. Some of these might get messed up. Right now they're plotting against threatening an old man for their money so they could get drugs.
or likely to visit, etc. Furthermore, the entire plan was concocted in
That's my man, Obsidian, for real. That's my man.
about 15 minutes. So
I'm doing well, and I have excellent news. Remember my old neighbors? We finally drove them out. Yo! How'd you drive them out? Dude, that's great. That's peak. I don't know how you were able to do that.
it wasn't exactly an Ocean's 11 setup. Jeremy was going to be the driver, and Garrett and Tony would go in and do the actual robbery. Karen and I were supposed to be the lookouts. However, for all of the above reasons, I refused to have anything to do with it.
Nice.
And told Karen
So what
she
you gotta
shouldn't
do.
either, which surprisingly, she listened to. I tried
Wait, is the audio good for y'all? Just like making sure it's audio good.
To talk to them into waiting until we could get more info about the guy and the neighbors.
Yeah, you can't just go in blindly, you know. Well, they were stealing things from other people and worse, threatening others. So under threat of police, they left. Finally, bro, you can finally live in peace, gang. So I'm glad you've been doing good. That's great.
Garrett was dead set on doing it ASAP.
Bro, why you can't just go into a house when you know nothing about like anybody else there around? Like you don't know if like if a neighbor could be there. You don't know if this guy's at work. You don't know if he's not at work. Y'all gotta wait it out. Well, y'all should just not do it at all. But if you are gonna just completely go through with it, you gotta just wait.
Since inferred he was a serious addict and needed something right now.
Yeah.
Which explains why he was so gung-ho about the whole thing. My concerns were brushed aside, and they started getting ready. 2 t-shirts with sloppily cut eye holes would be the masks, and 2 butcher knives from the block in Karen's kitchen would be the weapons. Jeremy would wait outside with the engine running. They'd go in and scare the guy, get the money, and run back out.
But you never know with old man, bro. They could be like a taekwondo master. Like, dude, he could genuinely karate kick you, bro. Like, I don't think a knife is enough. Right? Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
Was used to collect the cash. So, ridiculously equipped, Jeremy, Tony, and Garrett headed out the door, and Karen and I settled down to wait. This was just about sundown, and we expected the whole thing, for good or ill, would be over fairly quickly. And Karen assured me we'd be doing drugs in no time. We fooled around for a little bit since we were alone, but being thwacked to the moon, I was more...
Yo, what's good, Green VR 2013? Are you who I think it is? Gang. Here, go to... Is this who I think it is, bro? No, it's not. But what's up, man? Thank you for joining the stream. What's up? Are these 2 morons? Yes, knives are useful, but you can't exactly run into a building with a close-range weapon. Exactly, bro.
Interested in talking than having intimacy.
This is so stupid.
And in retrospect...
Wait, what? Dude, Green VR, how you been doing, man? Green VR 2013. Okay, wait. A plastic grocery bag to steal the cash. So ridiculously equipped. And I said, this was about just sundown. Oh, getting sure me to be snorting lines in no time. Bro, censors, the way Snoopy censors stuff is so
for
funny.
A little bit since we were alone, but being thwacked to the moon, I was more interested in talking than having intimacy.
Bro, it's like, because I love the way, like, he always, before he censors something, he's like, that's more interesting in talking than having intimacy.
Retrospect can tell that I was annoying the absolute shit out of her with my verbal diarrhea.
What?
15 minutes turned into 30, and then...
Bro, shut up, why do you laugh like that? I don't know, bro.
With
Snook is just funny.
No sign of the guys. The sun went completely down, and it was full night. By this point, we were super agitated and kept checking the blinds in classic tweaker form. Anytime we heard anything at all...
That's just anybody that's like waiting for something.
We turned on some music and were laying on the couch when the door flew open. There in the doorway stood Jeremy.
Bro, it's me, gang, Giovanni. Oh! What's up, Giovanni?
Eyes wide and frantic, who burst out, "He killed him! He fucking killed him!"
Oh my god, bro! You see, they're already high. This was such a bad idea. They should have been, like, sober for at least one day before, like, barging into the house and killing him. Oh my god.
Behind him walked Tony. In a day...
Dude, this is so dumb. Covered in blood? Oh my god.
I don't think I'll quite ever forget the look on Garrett's face. Haunted doesn't do it justice. It was the expression of someone who knows he is damned.
Oh my god!
He walked slowly into the house and went directly into the bathroom and closed the door.
What the heck, bro? Okay, no, okay. Now, realistically, bro, what would y'all do in this situation? If for some reason you were high and robbed somebody, I would turn, and like ended up killing them. I would turn myself in. Like, I'm so serious, I would not be able to just live with that. I mean, Dude, I don't know what I would do, to be honest. I mean, I would try to live with it and then probably just, like, confess. You know? So they're high as kites, use knives, and just forge into the... I didn't see the rest of that message, because it was only on the screen. It wasn't, like, in the actual chat.
We heard the faucet running. Dude, as stupid, he washed the blood off of his hands and face, and we all stood silent, staring at each other. After I recovered from my initial shock, I asked what the actual fuck had happened. Evidently, things had unfolded pretty much as intended for the first half of the capper. The old man was appropriately terrified and handed over the money after being roughed up a little. Once the bag was filled and they were almost out of the door, the poor bastard said, "It's you, Garrett, isn't it?" Evidently recognizing Garrett's voice as one of his grandson's friends. Well, Garrett panicked and turned around and stabbed him directly in the chest.
19 times? Oh my god, bro. What is wrong with these people? This isn't even, like, high, bro. Like, this is just, like, terrible people. This is, like, actually insane. What in the world, bro? 19 times.
19 times.
Jesus Christ,
after the first 14, his knife hand bent, so he took Tony's knife and stabbed him 5 more times. With his hand over his man's mouth to try to stop his screaming.
This is like Satan reincarnated.
Finally, he slowed, stood up, and grabbed the bag of money.
Like, why did you have to do that? I don't, like, oh my... Like, dude, I hate people, like, I just... Oh my god, 19 times. And then the other 4. My guy got 200 lumber in the chest. That's that's messed up, dude. Like, why would somebody, like, one stab is enough, gang. You don't have to, like, repeatedly do it. Man, these confessions ruin my mood, bro.
Door.
This is so sad.
Unfortunately, one of the old man's neighbors had evidently come home right around this time.
Evil. He just wanted to kill someone.
Never
exactly, bro. Like, I'm convinced he just literally wanted to kill somebody his entire life. And then, like, he just let it out on this guy. There was no point. He could have just, like, done it once, left. He shouldn't have done it in the first place, but I'm saying, like, hypothetical. He could have just stabbed him once and left. There's no point in doing it 19 times. That's ridiculous, bro. That's, like, psychopathic. I don't care how high you are. That is unacceptable.
To get this straight of exactly when he arrived and saw 2 masked men running out of the house. He shouted at them to stop, then proceeded to jump back into his car and follow them. Jeremy drove like a maniac to lose them, and then drove at random while they tried to figure out what the hell to do next. They finally decided to drive back to where we were and ditch the car several blocks away, trusting to the cover of night to hide the blood all over Garrett. As they told the story, Garrett finished washing himself off and opened the bag of money. If I recall correctly, it was something around 5 or 6 grand.
Jesus.
They started to split up the money, even offering me some, which I declined.
Yeah.
Horrified that things had turned out this way.
I would decline it too, honestly. I don't care how much it is, dude. You just actually, like, murdered somebody. I don't care about the money.
If I was able to.
Because, like, then I would be linked with it, you know?
I would have run screaming from the place. However, now I was party to a murder, and I didn't think they'd be too excited about someone who knew the details running off to who knows where. I refused the offered cash and tried to calm my thwacked out mind down, envisioning cops busting through the door at any moment.
Bro, if he just calls the cops, he won't be responsible for it, you know? Nah, say that again, Scott. You almost said the F word. I did almost say the F word, I'm sorry. Bro. If he just turns himself in, I don't think he's gonna get in much trouble. Well, yeah, for the drugs, obviously. But he'll be in less trouble as all these people, you know?
The largest amount of money they put into a hollowed out deodorant container, which then they buried in the backyard. Each kept several $100s, and Jeremy agreed to take Tony and Garrett where they wanted to go. and would score some crystal to come back and take with Karen and I. The three left, and Karen and I settled down, waiting anxiously. Now, eventually, Jeremy returned with a big sack of crystal, which he proceeded to get blasted on, and spent the entire night playing cards and checking the windows. It was, without question, the scariest fucking night I'd ever had up to that point.
Well, he didn't do the murder, but he did break in with him. He would be an accessory to murder and be arrested for breaking and entering, but that's it. Exactly. I don't think his sentence would be as, like, intense as all these other guys. Even, like, Tony, who, had the other knife that, Garrett took and kept stabbing the guy with. Even he's gonna get charged. He had the knife. Like, I just don't get why they had to escalate that, bro. I don't remember if they said they were high, but I don't care. It doesn't really excuse anything.
Whether or not the neighbor got the license plate number, if the cops would find the car, once again abandoned several blocks away, and even if Garrett would think about killing all of us to cover his tracks.
What?
In the morning, we decided to split up. In reality, they were super annoyed by the edgy, thwacked version of me, and I just wanted to get the fuck away from them.
At most, I think he would just have a year. But the others, they would stay there for way longer. Yeah, and they deserve it. They definitely deserve it. Except the girl. His girlfriend. He was having, intimacy with.
Went to the flop house I was staying at, a bizarre little cult-like family setup that probably deserves its own story, and crashed out for a day. When I woke up, I headed to my local panhandling spot to get the money for some potato wedges. 12 for $1. What a deal. And while I was there, checked a newspaper to see if there was anything there. Sure enough, the murder was front page material, given the semi-rural.
And this is like the 80s, so they could probably get away with it, like, with success.
Nature of the town, chilled to the core, I walked dazedly around town until late that night before returning to my flop house. The patriarch of my little household was a worldly, mostly well-meaning gentleman we'll call Clive. Clive knew me pretty well by this point and was a charismatic individual. He pulled me aside and asked what was wrong late that night, informed me that the cops had come by that day asking about me, and asked if there was anything I'd like to tell him. I spilled everything. Clive listened in silence as I told him what had happened, and at the end of it, shared something with me that none of us had known. As a younger man, he'd spent 7 years in prison for armed robbery.
Oh, okay.
He knew what it was like to be in serious capital T trouble, and asked only one thing of me: don't commit S-word in his house.
Oh my God.
As there were young kids living there.
Bro, censorship is like so annoying. Like, I get it's for the monetization, but it's like low-key annoying.
Again, it was a really, really strange place. I assured him I wouldn't, and we drank coffee and played cards until the sun came up. At about 9 in the morning, the cops showed up again, and this time, I went with them. As it happened, I wasn't the last person to be rounded up. Garrett was still at large. Being a good criminal, I clammed up and said nothing, besides asking them what I was being questioned about. They informed me that I was wanted for question in regards to a murder, and I spent the car ride and waiting room time struggling to control my sphincter. When I was escorted into the interview area, which was just a regular office, not a scary movie interview room, I was asked if there was anything I wanted to tell them. I, of course, said I had no idea why I was there, but I was shaking and sweating, and I knew they could see it. They decided to offer some information. An old man had been murdered, and they had multiple people in custody, all of whom seemed to think that the plan was my idea.
What?
I was so stunned by this, I made what was probably a rather comical "wah" face and started shaking a bit more. The interviewer outlined the basic facts that they knew, which were
so the friends accused him?
All pretty much on the money, except for the fact that I had been pointed out as the mastermind of the operation. They even provided me with a statement from Karen, which indicated the whole plan had been mine. and that they hadn't wanted to do it, but I had threatened them into compliance.
Okay, bro. Okay, dude. Okay. If you're gonna do that, if I remember biology correctly, that is the location of the brain that deals with the hormones and chemicals for fear and panic and adrenaline. Okay. No, thank you, Obsidian. But dude, if you're gonna kill somebody, admit it. Why are you blaming someone? Like, that's just like, okay, you're actually just a loser. You're genuinely like a terrible person. Like, you already were, but like, this is just another level. It's just like, there's levels to this, bro. Some people are just so stupid, bro. Like, if you're gonna literally kill somebody and you don't have the nerve to like just say it was me, that's crazy.
Which was pretty ludicrous, as I was the youngest person in the group and a scrawny little white boy. He left me with these statements and a cup of coffee while he went to the bathroom. By this point, I was freaking right the fuck out. What the actual fuck? Why had my so-called friends all pointed the finger at me?
They're not your friends, bro. Yeah, they're not.
I slowly began to realize that they had all known each other for much longer than I'd known any of them. And that much of our interactions had involved me bringing weed or cash to share. Was I a sucker? Was this me being used? A chump? And being left out to dry? When the interviewer came back in, he sat down in his desk, looked at me, and just said, "Tell me." I paused, then shakily asked for a soda and a cigarette, and was provided both, which was a bit interesting as I was only 15. I told them that I wasn't prepared to make a statement, but could offer a hypothetical explanation of events, which he said would be acceptable for now. I huddled by the window and, as much as it pains me to admit it, rolled over like a good boy. I told them everything relating to the event itself, the participants, the plan, where it went wrong, and what happened.
Wait, hold up.
The interviewer sat in silence.
That's the downside of being new to a friend group. You are way more expendable in comparison to everyone else. No matter how much you like them, you're lesser because you're new. Exactly. No matter like how close you get to like just a certain guy in the friend group, like you are always the odd one out. You're always different. You're always the different one. Exactly, Obsidian.
And let me ramble it all out while I blew my smoke out the window. He asked why I didn't try harder to stop them or go to the police after the event. And I told him I was, quite simply, afraid of people that had killed a guy. Fortunately for me, they seemed to think my story lined up with what they knew so far, and decided that they didn't have enough evidence to charge me at the time. I was told not to leave town, and that it would be wise for me to retain legal advice. I returned home and spent the night smoking a bunch of weed, then went to sleep, trying not to think about it. That night, Garrett was tracked down and arrested at gunpoint.
Oh my god, let's go.
Brought back to the station and interrogated. He copped to the murder and told them everything that had happened.
Look at you, folded like a
pancake. Much to my everlasting surprise, he backed my claim that I had been against the entire plan from the beginning, refused to take any money, and generally seemed to want nothing to do with the situation. From what I understand, he referred to me as just a kid who was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
The next day, I was called back in, sat down, and told about Garrett's confession. This person, who I'd only met that day, confirmed everything that I had told them, and went out of his way to explain that I was not a willing...
If anyone cares, I'm fighting demons on the toilet. Oh my gosh.
...participant. I've always gotten the sense that he was truly remorseful for what he had done and didn't want to see anyone else suffer for it. They told me I was free to go for the moment, but that they might have additional questions for me in the future. Later that day, I saw a story in the local paper indicating that the culprit had been apprehended and naming him. The article also mentioned that 3 minors were in custody and an unnamed male minor was questioned regarding the incident. Me. A couple of weeks later, I caught a Greyhound out of town, leaving the state and returning to my hometown in another state.
I thought that was his hometown.
I later learned that the police did come back around looking for me, but I was long gone. I was still off the grid for another year or two, and I've never been contacted about the incident since then. I've also never returned to that state. I hope you guys enjoyed my rambling story.
Confession.
It's mostly true as far as I can remember it, other than places where I had to fill in a couple of gaps in my memory and a couple of times that were nudged to blur the trail a bit, in case anyone feels like being a super sleuth and trying to identify when and where this happened. I later became a productive member of society and am a husband and father with a great career that I've worked hard for. I've always wanted to share the story outside my closest circle of friends, and I feel a little better after doing so.
Nice.
I have quite a few wild stories from my youth as a vagabond, and perhaps I'll post some of those later if anyone finds these interesting. Thanks for reading. And now let's get into some of the top comments. Someone says, "What happened to that bloke Garrett?" And the OP replied
25
saying,
to life, W.
25 to life. The others...
Hello. I'm streaming.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna thunderstorm again.
Yeah, I just got the one.
Alright.
Seriously did time in juvenile facilities
Those
or
are-
mental hospitals. And then someone replies saying, "He's still in?" And then someone else replies saying, "This was 20 years ago, so I would say yes." And then the OP responded saying, "Well, he could have been paroled by now. I haven't gone out of my way to follow
No
up,
way,
as
bro.
I generally would prefer to avoid any further interaction with that whole fucked up situation."
Definitely
then-
should. He's living a good life right now.
And someone else has another comment
Husband
that
and
says,
father, bro.
"That's a pretty shit situation to be in. Being framed for a murder by people you thought were your friends as a teen. I can't imagine how that would have been. Good on you for turning your life around."
For real.
And then someone responds saying, "That was quite possibly just a police tactic to get him to talk.
That's true.
Most suspects don't talk if they think that everyone else involved isn't talking, like looking out for each other. But if the suspect believes everyone is blaming it on him, then he is likely to break that loyalty and make a statement." And the OP responds saying, "This is certainly a possibility. The confession that was provided to me had enough details that made me think it was authentic. However, I suppose I could have been tricked."
Yeah.
And then the commenter responds to the OP saying, "Not sure if the police are allowed to lie to the extent of faking a confession. Although for a case as serious as murder, perhaps they would. Especially if they knew you were involved for sure. Also, interrogation techniques have
Yo, what's
improved
good, Evan? What's good, bro?
a lot in recent years. Police used to run riots saying and doing whatever they wanted to obtain a confession." And then someone replies saying, "Don't be so naive. The police are absolutely allowed to lie to you. That's
Oh.
why you shouldn't talk to them without a lawyer, especially if you were involved."
Well, no, he had a valid case, right? He literally did nothing wrong besides, like, partner in crime, I guess. I don't really know. But, I mean, it makes sense that they could lie to you if it's something that could genuinely get words out of you.
OP got lucky these cops actually wanted to know the truth. And then another commenter asked a question saying, "What happened to your girl?" And the OP responded saying, "Ah, this is actually a fun bit.
That actually reminds me, you know the whole man, you know the whole man left behind. Yes, it is, and has been used as justification for units to break formation to get back to wounded members." Yeah, that's interesting.
I later found out that she told everyone I was delusional and that we had never been dating. I guess it wasn't
But she
really
really cracked him before it happened.
a match made in heaven. She ended up in a mental institution, which was probably a good place for her to be. I am evidently attracted to unstable women, except wifey, who is only somewhat quirky.
Ha! What a knee slapper.
Love Roblox?
Nope.
Earn Roblox digital gift cards with Microsoft Rewards.
And now
Next
on to
confession.
a
Oh,
viewer
viewer submitted.
confession.
Okay.
Hey Snook, I hope you're doing well, pimp. I just wanted to say I
What? Why'd he call him a pimp? Yo, it's that I destroyed my family. Hey, Snook! Hope you're doing well, pimp. What the heck? But his origin purpose was to make sure that anyone captured doesn't break under torture. Because if they believe that someone's looking for them, they won't break. Yeah, I mean, that's true.
appreciate
Bro,
all
how you
the
so
hard
smart,
work
Sam?
you put into making videos. I listen to every upload at work and try to comment if I have the time. Anyways, this story took place when I was in high school. and I've never really told anyone except a really close friend. That's not to say nobody knows about it, but I don't really share it. I recently was contacted by the ex in question, which is what reminded me of this and prompted me to write it. As the title says, I got cheated on and proceeded to destroy her entire family. Now, I want to preface this by saying what happened was never my intention, but I suppose if I thought about my actions for even a brief moment, I could have foreseen a lot of what happened. This story begins when I was a sophomore in high school. I had a bit of a glow up and started getting my first bit of female attention. I started sneaking out to hang out with a girl and get up to some nefarious activities. Before this, I was a good kid for the most part. I had good grades, I was playing varsity baseball as a freshman, and I stayed out of trouble. Shortly after meeting this girl, I tore my labrum playing baseball and had to get surgery.
Is that like a knee muscle or something?
At the start of baseball season, I started to hang out with this...
Yo, Siri! What is a labrum? Oh, around the edge of the shoulder or hip joint. Okay.
This girl even more. We went from sneaking out maybe once every couple weeks to every single night. I would pay my brother $5 and he would let me take his car out for the night. Well, one night I picked this girl up and she had weed with her.
Oh my God.
I had smoked a couple times before, however...
I have such a bad impression on weed, bro.
My dad
ever since these stories, because they're gonna get bad.
Was not only a deputy at the time, but he was on the narcotics task force for the county. So despite the fact I live in a very weed-friendly state, I knew I would be screwed if I ever got caught. Even though my parents were divorced, I knew my mom would tell my dad. The risk simply was not worth the reward.
How would they figure out? It's like nighttime. And you're like not near the house at all.
Anyways, the regular MO was to pick her up, then drive the 15 minutes back to my house out in the sticks.
Okay, never mind. They literally are driving back to the house and doing weed.
I had a big house, and it was a lot easier to chill at my house. So that cool spring night, I wasn't really thinking with the right head, and the temptation won. We ripped a blank page out of my Bible, we rolled it up, and smoked out in the woods on my property. Man, I knew I liked weed, but that night was one of the biggest mistakes I ever made.
Sure, weed isn't as bad as other drugs, but it's still pretty bad. Just because it's not as deadly doesn't mean it isn't deadly. Exactly. For real.
See, I like this.
Never do drugs, bro. I don't think you should do drugs. Like, it doesn't make you cool or anything.
Girl. But really, she was just the first attractive girl to ever be interested in me like that. And right as I was...
What the man would do for a girl, bro.
Figuring that out, I also figured out how much I like smoking. And well, this girl was someone I could smoke with. And obviously, I liked the naughty time as well. So every day, I would sneak out, pick her up, smoke, and pretend to watch movies until an hour before my parents woke up. Then I would take her home. Every night.
No, it's not.
I was tired every day. And my shoulder was not getting any better in terms of playing baseball.
He's about to screw everything up, bro.
Again. I was 4 months post-op and still could not throw a baseball without extreme pain for days. And without my main reason to keep my grades up, I started slacking in school. Then one day at lunch...
Bro, like I told the GOAT, bro, or Beast, like, you should always care about your grades. Even when, like, don't make the same mistakes I did and goof around in 7th grade. Because, like, those grades will carry over to high school.
There was talk about our spring break starting 2 weeks early. If you were inhaling O2 at the time, you know what this was.
I don't.
The lockdown started. I was so depressed for all the reasons everyone else was. Plus, my nightmare of a labrum slap tear that would not heal properly. I started smoking by myself all day. It was at this time I also started stealing liquor from my parents. I stopped logging into my Zooms and spiraled bad. To say the least, I was self-destructing. To make it worse, my brother left for boot camp that summer, meaning I had no more responsible oversight in that house. My parents had been split since I was a little kid, and I rarely made the 90-minute drive to my dad's house. I was still hanging out with this girl every day. One fall evening, she blocked me from leaving her house. She had this sad look on her face when she asked me, "Are you ever going to actually ask me to be your girlfriend?"
Dang.
At that moment, I realized again how much I didn't really like this girl. But instead of being mature and smart, I folded like a lawn chair. I asked her to be my girlfriend. She was hot. I was whipped. I liked having someone to smoke with 24/7, but all it was doing was feeding into my depression, which I would then suppress with ganja and liquor. See the spiral?
Yeah.
And it certainly did not help that I liked it so much. Any sort of messed up I could be, I would get, and I loved it, which is why when my now girlfriend pulled out 2 tabs of acid one night while we were watching the sunset at a parking garage, it didn't take much convincing. That was the
acid is so
beginning
bad
of my psychedelic addiction. It started with once every month or so.
Bro, I heard people trip on acid, bro. Like, I've seen 2 confessions where people trip on acid and just start doing crazy things.
And every 2 weeks as soon as my tolerance was gone. Then every week, doubling the dose each time. What I did not know at the time was that I am genetically prone to bipolar disorder,
Really?
depression, and some other mental disorders.
Is bipolar really not... Jesus, my fault. Is bipolar really not that noticeable until, like, you get diagnosed with it? Is it something, like, you come with born? Because, like, you would think, like, bipolar is obvious, but, like, some people really just figure out, like, in their high school years, or even when they're, like, an adult.
Within 14 months, I'd gone from a straight A varsity baseball player to a bipolar, drug-addicted dropout. My mom noticed. It would have been impossible not to. I started going to therapy and to get mental health evals, got diagnosed with bipolar disorder and depression, then started the medications. That was the worst 5 months of my life. The side effects were worse than the problems themselves. It's just guesswork. Torturous guesswork. My mental health took major tolls on my relationship. I noticed things. One night she called me and asked if a guy could come over to smoke.
Yes and no. Just like everything that has to do with the mental side of medical stuff, your best guess is as good as mine. But there's correlation with genetics and that, but also sometimes not. Yeah, you're right. Sometimes, like, genetics is really the deciding factor of, like, whatever mental condition you have. Like, I got ADHD from my mom, I think. And but yeah, you're right, Epson.
I knew she would cheat. I knew she had already had with him. But I was weak. I'd let it happen.
You're right, because, like, you really don't know you have, like, ADHD until you get, like, diagnosed with it. You don't know you have autism until you, like, get diagnosed with it, you know? So, I'm guessing the same thing as for bipolar. But I was just thinking, like, maybe bipolar is, like, different. Just because bipolar, I mean, you, like, kind of switch, you know?
Start an argument, have no proof, and just feel like shit. I doubled down on all of it. The drinking, smoking, psychedelics, and intimacy. It was such a toxic situation, and I was so blind to it all. I was 16, working 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. as a dishwasher, selling drugs in the day to pay for my own increasingly more expensive addictions. To put it into perspective for all these smokers out there, I was smoking 4 to 6 G's. I can't say the actual word or the dosing.
Whoa, what?
Because
okay,
of guideline reasons, but you get it. This
Wait, what? What
actual
reasons?
word or the dosing because of guideline reasons, but you get it.
Yeah.
This continued until it all came to a head on my 17th birthday. We dropped my sister off at a friend's house and started to have an argument. That's when she told me she cheated on me with 3 different guys.
God!
And I'm unsure if the emailer who sent this email meant sister or girlfriend. I dropped my sister off at a friend's house and she admitted she cheated on me. I assume it's girlfriend, but let's continue. He says she used it as a weapon to belittle me, trash me as a person.
This kid ruined his life in so many ways. Exactly, bro. Like, drugs will have such a long-lasting effect on
It
you.
hurt me so deep. I went numb. And yeah, I think this is a girlfriend. I drove to his Taco Bell, tears rolling down my face, and parked. I told her to go inside and get some food and cool off. As soon as
Wait. Yeah, you're right. I don't know who this is. Is this the girlfriend? I'm assuming it's the girlfriend. Bro went to Taco Bell. Oh my god. Bro went to Taco Bell to calm down.
she got out, I left her there. I went to my trusty Diamond Shamrock that didn't ID and got a case of beer. I woke up in my car on the side of a random county road in the sticks. I drove home and started plotting.
Oh, wow.
I wanted to hurt her how she hurt me.
Oh my
Worse.
god, bro.
I always will take it one step further.
Dude, all right. Here's my take on cheating. It's gonna be a really tiny rant. I think cheating's bad, obviously. Cheating is not good. But, like, I think some of the lengths that people take it to get revenge on the person who cheated on them is too far. Like, these guys, I know he's about to ruin, like, the girl's life. And then some people, like, have killed their wives or something for cheating. Like, it's just, like, move on, gang. Move on. Like, even knowing this girl literally because you smoke weed with her. You literally said, like, 2 pages ago that you didn't like her. You really didn't like her, but you folded like a lawn chair and said it anyways. Like, this guy's ruining his life, bro. For something that's not even that big of a deal. Like, you're 17. Your girl cheated on you 3 different guys. Okay, that sucks. Go cry about it. Go numb. And move on. Like, trust me, bro. In 10 years, this won't matter.
I would send her dad a text, telling him every secret I knew about her. I was always really close with her dad, and he really liked me. I also knew he would rain hellfire down on her.
I don't attempt in the dating pool, but I've heard revenge stories from cheating and things just go off the rails so quickly that the only thing they should have done is walked away. Yeah! My god. Yeah, you're right, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say I don't attempt in the dating pool. I mean, I kind of do. But yeah, some of those revenge stories, bro, like what he's about to do is just stupid. Like, actually stupid, man.
If he knew even a tiny bit of the shit she got up to. So I started my message by telling him his daughter cheated. I told him exactly where to look on her phone for incriminating messages of drug use, stealing his truck, etc. I then told him where to find her weed stash. I told him about how his wife just gave her another phone when he took hers. I told him about how his wife would let us smoke while she was there. I told him about how they all talk shit about him. I told him everything. I sent the message, and the next morning, he replied with a thumbs up. That's the most dad thing to do.
For real.
I didn't think about it again. I knew if anything happened, I wouldn't find out until much later through mutual friends because I didn't go to school anymore at that point.
Yeah,
Well, I wouldn't be writing this unless something happened.
Yeah.
About 3 months later, one of my ex's friends added me on Snapchat. She just wanted to bump uglies, if you're smelling what I'm stepping in. That night, she ended up telling me what happened in that household.
Bump uglies? What? Does that mean like sword fighting? I really don't know what that means.
Dad got my message and went nuclear.
Oh my
Found out everything I said was true, and to say the least, he was pissed.
Oh my god.
He found her stash, the second phone.
Yo, what if he like killed the family? Oh my god.
The messages,
oh my god.
the pictures, all of it. He had a conversation with his wife that ended with him wanting divorce. He smashed all their phones and left, transferred all their money to an account only he has access to, and ghosted them. He moved out of state that same week with no money. They had to figure out how to survive. Her older sister moved in with her boyfriend.
I think that's smoking mixtures. What do you mean, Obsidian? Like, what the dad's doing? Or the kid?
My ex moved in with a friend, and the mom did the same. Her dad owned a very successful business, and the mom didn't work or anything. Their home was only in her dad's name. He put it on the market within 2 weeks, and it sold 2 weeks after that. Their older brother, who had been out of the house, sided with the dad, and that started another problem. When my ex wouldn't completely cut her brother off, her mom cut her off. Within a month, she was disowned by both her parents.
Oh, jeez.
Holy shit, that escalated quick.
For real,
let's continue. That night, me and her friend ended up doing the deed, and in my post-nut clarity,
Bro, oh my god.
I began to reflect on the situation. Had I really caused them to get a divorce?
Yes.
Was it my place to tell him any?
The puff uglies. I don't know what this means exactly, but my best guess is that it's essentially the same thing as mixing beers together, but for cigars. Okay, so it's not sword fighting. I'm very dirty-minded. I'm sorry.
Of that information, it started to eat away at me.
Yeah, post-nut clarity's real, bro.
But in my drug-saturated brain, it didn't take me long to forget about it and move on without a care. About a year later, I saw a mutual friend at a local festival. I went to say what's up to her, and she just looked disgusted with me. I asked her why she was being so, for a lack of better words, bitchy. Then she blew up on me, saying, "Really, you piece of shit? I'm bitchy? You got ex's name's mom killed."
What?
Whoa. I interrupted her. "What the fuck are you talking about? I got her mom killed? Are you brain dead?" After a brief back and forth, she agreed to tell me what happened with her mom. Apparently, her mom started drinking. A lot. About a month later, I got my last update on my ex. Her sister went to stop by her mom's apartment. She opened the door and found her mom motionless on the couch.
Dude.
Her sister was a nursing major and immediately knew her mom was dead.
Wow. She had drank herself.
She had drank herself to death. I could not believe what she told me. When I got home, I found her obituary online.
Yo, OP, bro, you deserve all the hate. I'm not gonna lie, you deserve all the hate. That's crazy. You deserve all the hate. You literally got the family killed. You've ruined the family and you got somebody killed. You're basically like a murderer.
There I was, at my desk,
In a different way.
looking at the obituary for a woman who I saw every
Can someone explain what obituary means, please?
day for months. A woman who had fed me countless times, who allowed
means like
me to
death?
stay in her home and date her daughter. Dead at 46. Because of me.
Yeah.
Was it because of me?
Yeah, buddy.
Back and forth. I rationalized both sides of my mind. I mean, she chose to go behind his back.
Oh, she chose, he chose, you chose, they chose, them chose. Like, bro, it's your fault. Stop, bro, it's your fault! Bro, people like this never want to take responsibility, bro. Like, it's your fault. You got the family killed, yo.
She chose to let teenagers smoke weed at her house, but I chose to blow the whistle. Who knows what would have happened if
An obituary, I'm just working off of a memory, but it has something to do with death list / list of wrongs someone has done. I could be wrong. I'm working off a memory. Okay. Yeah, that works.
But now we all know what happened after I did. And it was fucking with my head. So did the only thing I had learned to do in distress lean harder into my substance abuse and self-destruction? My addiction spiraled again, and my mental health reached an all-time low. I deleted all socials, all contacts, packed my clothes, and just left. I spent the next 3 years traveling across the U.S. battling a severe substance dependency. I'm now 22, living close to family again, and have overcame my dependency. My mental health is in a much better state now, and I stay far away from hard alcohol and hard drugs. I still smoke after work, maybe a beer or two, but nowhere near how I used to. As I mentioned at the beginning of the story, I was only reminded of this because my ex recently got into contact with me. I did not respond. I don't know what else to say. How to go about a conversation with someone whose life I ruined. I see the text notification every day.
Okay, I just searched to what an obituary is, and it's just a send-off letter for the dead loved one. Oh, dang, that's sad.
And I just look at it.
You're basically right.
And my heart sinks. I don't want to respond, but maybe I owe it to her?
Yeah, you do. Dude, you got her mom killed. Like, dude, don't be immature and respond.
I don't know. She also seems to be doing well from what I see online, so I don't want to damage any healing either of us had from that awful situation.
Yeah, but it's your fault. It's like your responsibility to confront it. You don't just have to avoid the conflict. Like, you did it, bro. And so you should be the one that responds to her. She got her mother killed because of you. Honestly, if she was mad, that's deserved on you.
I know I'm exponentially more mature now than I was back then, but I just don't want to open that door again. To end, I want to clear a few things up. I do not want to come across as portraying myself as a victim. I'm well aware that I made a stupid decision when I was younger that ruined the lives of many people. I'm not proud of it by any standard. I'm not saying my ex or anyone else but me is responsible for where my life ended up. We are both immature with little to no positive guidance. I think we all made our mistakes that led up to this. Every mistake and piss poor decision was essential to where this all ended up.
Yes, bro, but you don't have to avoid the conflict still, dude. Like, I keep saying that, but, like, you don't have to avoid the conflict. You still, like, did the wrong thing and got her mother killed. You have to respond to her, bro. It's not the immature thing to do, bro. Like, you think you're tough because you just immature, bro. Like, bro, like, you just have to respond to her. I know it's not a door you want to open. And I guess I don't have much say in that because I have been in a situation like that where I don't want to open a door again, but not like this. But, you gotta respond, man. You've ruined her life. She deserves, like, an explanation. She deserves to be talked to, you know?
To dwell on bad choices too much is not good. To dwell on it, analyze, learn, grow, and move on, that is where healing is found. If anyone reading/listening to this and is being/has been cheated on, walk away with your head up. It hurts. It's not easy, but it's a mature thing to do. They have chosen someone else. Go. Don't try to get back at them. Don't try to fix things. Drugs are bad, period. If you haven't done them, don't. Worst case, you'll like it. And forever will struggle.
Is this like all about drugs, this confession thread? Because I'm done hearing about drugs. I'm tired of it.
The knowledge that a little puff or sniff
let me just speed this up.
can make any situation that much more fun and enjoyable. If you are currently struggling with substance abuse, recognize your problem first. Then recognize how powerless you have become against it for so long. Reach out for help. Hotlines, friends, family, churches, wherever you can find it, get it. Your brain is your own enemy right now. Make a resolve like no other that you want sobriety over anything else. Yeah. That goes for anyone, from a fent addict to a kid in high school addicted to overpriced carts. The punishment, heartaches, and trials you go through now will save you and everyone around you.
And there's still going to be a bunch of idiots who hear these warnings and do it anyway. Exactly, bro. People don't learn.
From years and years of suffering. To all my people battling mental demons, I love you.
Appreciate it.
It can and will get better. Not just for a time. There is hope. Reach out for help. I promise you there is someone, somewhere who cares enough for you to give you the assistance you need. But they cannot make these steps for you. Be strong. You're only given as much suffering as you can take. Know that there is purpose in your pain, but have peace in the knowledge that you may never ever fully know the reason you are enduring the sufferings you are.
Thank you, bro. I really appreciate that. Like, seriously. W ending message.
Thanks for reading my confession. Think what you want, but I love you all.
W, man.
Stay safe and keep on snooking it.
Every day, bro. I keep on snicking it every day. Dude, W confession.
Just you. Building your app.
I was like bashing it, but that end thing kind of like warmed my heart. Pulled on my heartstrings.
On base 44.
I still think what he did was wrong. I still think he should text her back.
Hello, Snook. I've recently came across your page in my hunt for answers to my dilemma. I'm not sure where to start with this, but here it goes. I'm currently 29, turning 30 in June and from the UK. My life just now is going well. I own a house, which many would not be able to obtain at this age, alongside a good-looking partner. An M5 I own outright, rare here, and a high-position job at a British weapons manufacturer/defense contractor. I'm in no way ostentatious, but I know that I am very much better off compared to my peers. I believe the reason for this is that I am a diagnosed psychopath.
Oh my God.
I currently take antipsychotics to relieve the urges of my youth, which I lied to my spouse about being epileptic.
Dude, if this guy has like a backstory of like intimacy with children or like animal abuse, bro, I'm turning this off. Dude, that's like a hard draw for me. I don't know about anybody in the chat, bro, but like, yo, like that stuff, especially like young, like kids, like I don't do that, bro. That makes me that's so disgusting.
To cover up when she picks up prescriptions for me. I've done things that people would consider horrific to people because of these urges. So much so, I was convicted of grievous bodily harm, or GBH, and SA at the age of 10. I want to clarify that it wasn't for a desire, but for power over the person.
Oh my God, bro. Here it goes, bro. Yo, I'm ready to turn this off. I'm literally holding on the escape button.
I also got away with many things due to them being difficult to prove, or that I knew to cover my tracks, so to speak. I was deemed unfit for trial by a psychiatrist and was sent to a mental institution, where I spent 9 months before being released with a lifetime requirement for medication. After release, I understood that although this is how I feel, I need to act like a chameleon and create a life for myself.
I'm desensitized to stuff like that, but as soon as someone starts saying when they were younger they went out their way to hurt random animals, that is a red flag in 10. Yes, bro. I was desensitized. I was desensitized to stuff like that also. But like on Friday, I got to hang out like with like my little cousin, and that really showed me like what it's like to be like an older brother, kind of. And then like it was great to hang out with like all my cousins. There's like 5 of them, 11, 10, 3, and 2. And ever since like that day, like I don't like hearing about stuff like that. Like when it comes to like children, like it just really bothers me, you know. And also like animals too. Like how could you hurt an animal, bro? But yeah, here we go.
I could probably get away with things in the future. Thankfully, we moved town just in time for the start of secondary school, so it was a lot easier to confine previous me to the history books. I've always been one of the smartest or the smartest in the room.
I hope what I said made sense, by the way.
Wherever I go. I got the best grades out of my many classes and got a 1-1 master's degree in business development from one of the most prestigious universities in Scotland. Again, this is not a brag, and I don't usually discuss this type of thing. I'm just being blunt with facts as I feel I have to.
Yeah.
I've kept the same friends since high school who do not know anything about my previous behavior or my current fantasies. I keep them around so I can control them, and they look up to the persona I've fabricated. I must say I've never loved someone in the way others talk about it. I keep people as extensions of myself or as someone I can depend on. The only person I have an affection to is my mom, and I believe that is through a slight uneasy feeling I have caused. She's the remaining person who remembers the real me who's still around me. I met my current girlfriend 8 years ago through university. She is visually stunning, and I found to be easily manipulated into doing what I want.
No wonder this guy said good looking immediately. Like he didn't talk about her personality or anything. He just went straight to good looking.
And her opinions could be molded. I feel having a good-looking woman around my waist made me look good to others. However, I found that the better looking they are, the harder they are to manipulate, so she is perfect for me. Recently, she started working with one of the boys that was in my primary school class, who I know has told her about the things I've done. Her demeanor continues to worsen towards me as the months go by, and I can now genuinely feel her fear. I thought of what I could do with him, but it'd be too suspicious at this point. If the full extent of the things I did came to light to my girlfriend, my friends...
Yo, what did you do, bro?
My work, my professional network will end. Everything I have built will crumble to nothing. I know my friends and family won't be able to look at me. I have the second highest security clearance level available, and I can see that revoked if my childhood record was exposed. I will lose everything I've earned. My house, car, the lot if it can be proven. I think the part that really angers me is that I slipped up.
Bro, just say what you did!
Complacency or arrogance, I feel I have let him get the better of me by allowing him to say what I've done with no rebuttal or repercussions until now. So to conclude, I'm asking what you think is
what in the Milky Way could he have possibly done? Exactly, dude.
Best approach. I know she will ask soon, and my primary tactic, I believe, is...
Man, I don't know because you didn't tell me anything. Like, bro, okay. Dude, if he actually told me what he did, I could maybe come up with a response. Depending.
Control. If I admit to the bullying, I can deny the more severe actions and chalk it up to him wanting revenge or jealousy. Worst case, I may lose her and the house, but I will keep my minions and my job. I said we would never marry, so she can only be entitled to half the house and not my car, pension, or private possessions at least. Regards, Scott.
What a loser, bro. F you, man. Snook, why would you include that confession? Wow.
And all right, Scott, there is a lot to unpack here.
This is the one you dissect? Oh my god, Snook. Oh my god. You just made me stop snooking it.
Yeah, a lot to unpack here. I just think it's very odd the way you refer to many things, such as your girlfriend, as more of an object than a person.
Yeah.
Or your girlfriend. You say worst
case.
Yo,
W gameplay, by the way.
I may lose her and the house, but I will keep my minions. Minions, I can only assume to be kind of your coworkers.
Yeah, that's weird. This is just doing what Noodle incidents do and just say it happened, but never telling us what it is. But in this instant, it is very important for us to know what you did. Exactly, like he's asking for advice and told us basically nothing.
Or the people that you kind of manage. I think that's another very odd thing to say. I just think you mention things in such an odd way.
Yeah.
In such a self-centered way and narcissistic way.
Very narcissistic.
Honesty.
And guys, I think my friend is narcissistic. I'm not even gonna lie. That's a weird thing to say, but We could talk about it later.
I mean, it's all me. This is going to happen to me. I did this, but I'm trying to figure out damage control. If I were you, or my advice to you, I don't think you should continue lying to everybody. I mean,
that's hard to say to a psychopath. I mean, that's practically who they are.
You're already seeing it. It's going to slip through the cracks eventually. I think you should just actually be honest. I think you should be honest.
He said he only told his best friend about what happened, I think, right? But he said that another guy knows and told the girlfriend.
Say, this is what I did when I was younger. I'm sorry, and that's who I am. And stop lying to her. Stop lying to your girlfriend. Stop lying to your job, and stop lying to everybody in your life. It will only continue to get worse if you keep lying and building your entire life on a lie. I've read more than enough stories on people who have built their entire lives and they've gotten away with it for decades, but they've built their entire life for decades on lies. And guess what? It all comes crumbling down eventually. And that is the truth. If you're not honest and straightforward, then it's going to bite you in the ass all the time. And I mean, you're just so worried about yourself all the time. And you're kind of like, in the beginning, you even said it wasn't a brag, but that's a very odd thing to mention. You're like, I'm the smartest person in the room. I'm always the smartest. I know this thing. I know how to manipulate my girlfriend. I know how to do this and do that. I just find it very, very weird and honestly, just super self-centered and narcissistic. You did admit to being on antipsychotics, which I think is good.
Working, buddy.
Although I think if you are up to it, I mean, kind of knowing this personality type, you probably won't be up to it, but getting therapy and getting help. Because I think you need to kind of break down all these barriers.
Man, bro, people like this are weird, bro. Because, like, they blend in, bro. They literally blend in with our environment, dude. You could never know. Like, you're sitting in, like, class, you're sitting in work. Literally, the person next to you or the person you're serving at work could literally be, like, narcissistic and a psychopath. Like, threw rocks at, like, animals. Like, I heard a confession. Oh, my God. I don't even want to talk about that confession I heard this morning.
Yourself. I mean, you've built up so many mental barriers, like you can't trust anybody. You don't love your girlfriend. You don't like this or that. I think you seem to really like your house and car because you're so worried about losing the material possessions. We don't care about the true connections with your people around you or your coworkers, and you mentioned them as minions. And to be honest, you asked me what your best approach is, and I think your best approach is being honest. Don't try to damage control. And you even said, I can deny the more severe actions and chalk it up to him wanting revenge or jealousy. So you're just building it up even more. Like, then you're just going to cause more issues and more, like, you have a record on yourself because you went to juvenile detention and you got in trouble. He's going to be able to get that eventually, or somebody will.
Narcissist and psychopathic, one of the worst combinations of human can ever be. Dude, you're right. It's actually scary, dude. And it's crazy how, like, they blend in, bro. Like, they blend in with us, bro. You never know. I mean, you do. Like, there's obviously signs. Like how I said, like, my friend, I think he's, like, a little narcissistic. But, yeah, dude, it's really scary. I don't really know what to say about that, man. It's bad. This is scary.
Like you're just like, this just won't work out if you keep lying and keep building your life upon lies upon lies. Tell your girlfriend the truth. Say you fucked up when you were younger. I mean, that was years and years and years ago. That's not you now. And you can move on and become a better person. But if you keep kind of going back to the same tactics of lying and deception and manipulation.
Oh, no, he's really just spitting bars. W. Snoop.
Then you're never going to become a better person and then get out of that kind of, that vicious cycle of people finding out the lies you've told them, if that makes sense. And so I think your best approach is to be completely honest with your girlfriend because she's going to find out eventually. And I mean, the genie is out of the bottle, so to speak. She knows that you did something when you were younger, and now she is going to do as much research as she possibly can about it. She's going to ask family. She's going to ask friends. She might ask your mom. She might ask, a friend of the friend who's quote unquote snitching on you. And so the genie is out of the bottle, and I think it is best case scenario to be completely honest and maybe take this as a learning lesson and kind of a pivotal point to be honest here on out and try to view people as people and not minions or your kind of property almost. I mean, you said
I agree with Snoop, but I think for a narcissistic and psychopathic person, I think that's way easier said than done. Like not like telling people to be people. Like telling a narcissistic person to view people as people is like telling a blind person to just see. I'm not trying to like diss Snoop. Snoop is the GOAT, but I just don't think that advice is going to work for that. And that's not anything that Snoop can do about it. It's not anything that we can do about it. And I don't think that's anything that a therapist can do about it. So, yeah, it sucks.
Girlfriend is perfect because she's at my waist all the time and she follows me around and she's a pretty face. I really think you need to work on a lot of facets of your life because yeah, this confession just was all over the place and filled with things that need to be talked about. But
Yeah.
to keep this short, as short as it can, just try to be honest and try to be a better person, because what you're doing now will not work out.
With Google Play
That'd be
Games,
advice,
you
but
can
I mean,
play
I just don't
unlocked.
think some of that advice is
Unlock
gonna work
bigger
for him.
screens.
I think it's hard to tell. It's like telling, like I said, like telling a deaf person to just hear. Like, you can't tell a narcissistic person to just view people as people, you know?
My whole family thinks I've been sober for the past year.
Oh, okay, move on with the drug
I'm 19
confessions.
female,
You know what? I'm actually
and about a year ago,
I'm sorry.
I spiraled into a real
I'm like tired of hearing these drug confessions. Let's do like half of this. That's because
Hey,
the
what's up, guys,
narcissist
and welcome
is
back to-
pre-programmed to only see themselves as the only real person. Yeah. And I think, like, it's like the Truman Show. Like, they think they're the only real person and everybody else is their, quote, minions. Like, that's so... Oh my God, dude. What the heck did I comment on this? Oh, dude, I've seen this. This one's terrible, bro. Alright.
Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. And
Oh,
today
past
we're getting
chapters.
into some depressing confession threads. Yeah, today's confession threads are depraved, wild, and like the title says, just kind of depressing. So you're going to want to make sure to stick around and hear
go.
these out. But these are all confessions sent in by you guys, viewers of the channel, and some confessions posted on Reddit. So, oh boy, we're in for a wild time. And if you'd like to see your confession in a future video, like confession threads. I paralyzed my little brother while pulling a prank.
What?
When I was 11 and my younger brother was 9, I passed to the dark side.
Ooh.
We used to regularly prank each other.
Okay,
And
this
the
is 14 years ago. And this was like a year ago, right? Oh no, this was recent. Okay, so this was about like 14.
rest of our
15 years
family. Most of the time it was harmless, like removing the light bulb from a closet and then jumping out to scare the person who came inside. We had a pretty good one where we would take all of the chocolate chip cookies out of the container and switch them with oatmeal raisin. Haha. There was one instance, though, that I crossed the line. I had just seen Home Alone, and I
Oh
loved the
my
idea
God.
of having this really extensive and detailed plan for a trap. I spent a week or two trying to come up with my own crazy plans, most of which were impossible because they involved some sort of catapult. But I did come up with one that I thought was ingenious, and I wanted to use it on my little brother.
Using any Home Alone trap on your little brother is just asking for someone to die.
So while my brother was outside playing, I decided to set my trap. It started with me pouring shampoo and some water in a bucket. Then I took a whole bunch
Oh, ew!
of glue and feathers and poured them all over the shower curtain in the bathroom. I removed the light bulb in the bathroom. Then I took the bucket of shampoo water and dumped it on the floor. My plan was to have my brother...
Oh, they went that direction. Yeah, if someone did that, they would be in prison for a while, even if it's self-defense. Yeah, because, like, you're willingly, like, setting these traps with the intent to get them seriously injured. Home Alone's so unrealistic, but, you know, it's a classic.
come into the bathroom, slip across the floor, and then either fall onto or grab the shower curtain for support. He would then be stuck to the shower curtain and be stuck with a feather cape. It was really stupid, and I was an idiot. Well,
Why? Snoop!
At
Why would you give me
Terminix,
that?
We work with pests, so you don't have to.
Yeah, lad.
Have you ever wanted to see your home from space? With this free satellite Earth Maps tool, you can zoom right down to your exact...
it worked. He came into the bathroom, slid across the floor, and hit it into the shower curtain. Only he didn't stop slipping. He slipped and hit the base of his neck on the edge of the bathtub. I don't remember much immediately after that. I think I blacked out.
Oh my god.
That was 15 years ago.
Only 9, dude.
My brother still can't walk. He's stuck in a wheelchair. He has almost no movement from the neck down. He can barely talk, and it is a struggle to get out 1 or 2 words. For me, the worst part is that he can still control his facial expressions pretty well. I apologize to him every day for years. I still do it fairly often now.
Yo, I'm about to cry.
He always has this look. He smiles and says, "It's okay." He smiles with his mouth, but not his eyes. I've seen him smile for
Dude, I
real,
wanna
but
cry right now.
I can see the resentment in his eyes. I'm the worst person alive. I'm an idiot. My girlfriend committed S-word after I cheated on her. I then proceeded to tell her family and all of her friends that she had cheated on me. This happened
What?
2 years ago. Basically,
Dude,
she was an
that
angel.
brother confession, like, that was sad, man. He was only 9. He didn't deserve that.
And I was a terrible boyfriend who took her for granted. She was too good to me, and for some reason, it made me resent her.
What?
I wanted to hurt her. So I brought a random girl into her
She
apartment
was too good to me, so I wanted to hurt her. Dude, what is wrong?
while she was at work. I had the key and she had given me permission to go in at any time, and made sure she caught me having intimacy with her when she came in. Of course, I made it seem like it was all her fault for not appreciating me. We were both in our mid-20s, and I thought this was just what I was supposed to do as a
For
man.
real.
I thought that, as men, we all had an unspoken agreement is that we exist to torture women.
What? Okay, bro. Don't do us like that. Dude, don't do us like that. There's no unspoken agreement to hurt women. What is wrong with you, man? Like, women are people too, bro.
And pretend it doesn't happen. Anyway, I called her a worthless B-word and dumped her. 3 days later, she committed S-word. I told all of our family and friends that I had caught her in my bed/apartment with another guy.
Yo, OP, actually kill yourself.
And that she
bro.
freaked out when I wouldn't take her back. I turned the whole story around.
Dude, no, dude. OP, you suck. OP sucks, bro. You call yourself a man by saying men have this unspoken agreement, but you don't even act like a man and admit what you've done, bro. Oh my
The worst
God,
thing is
bro.
that everyone believed it, as I knew they would. This only furthered my belief about women being inferior and existing.
Okay, man, that is way off base. Men do not exist to do that. Men are meant to help them. You're not supposed to give them pain. Yeah, exactly, dude. It's literally the opposite. Like, men, we're here as men. Like, we're here to like support women. Like, I don't know where he heard that.
To suffer. People always blame women for everything, even when it's clearly not their fault. Lately, I've been
who does
feeling
that?
guilty, and I don't know why. She's dead and gone, but she was really a good girl. And now let's get into some of the
Dude, I swear, dude, I hope they're bashing him.
comments. Someone said, "Wow, I'm kind of hoping that the reason you're beginning to feel bad about the situation is that you have taken a long, hard look at yourself and don't like what you see. If this is the case, then there's a slim chance of you growing as a human being and becoming a real man. At the moment, you're a liar, cheat, and a condescending bully. Maybe you're transferring your thoughts about yourself into women. Have you thought about therapy? It might help and in turn allow you to have an adult relationship in the future. I wish you well on your journey." Another
W.
person says,
Plus, genetically speaking, we are way more expendable than them. They can make next gen, we can't. It's more infuriating because he spotted the problem but did nothing about it. Exactly, dude. He like understood that what he was saying was just complete BS, and he still wouldn't even admit that he like, oh my God, this is so bad. I can't believe this. Yeah, they can make the next generation, bro. They made computers. And also, my friend's really sexist. No, I'm not even gonna lie. Sexist, and I think he's narcissistic. I think we'll talk about it at the end of stream.
they believe you because it's a believable story that people cheat.
This man deserves
They
no
believe you
sympathy.
because you
Yeah.
are one still here to tell the truth, unlike your girlfriend. She put enough faith in you that it literally destroyed her world when she saw the real you. I just wish all those around you could see you for the sociopathic, misogynistic wolf in sheep's clothing you are. Then maybe you'd change. She was a good girl, and you are
I agree with this guy.
were a bad person. You feel guilty, if you even do, because you were in fact guilty of some vile things. Truly admit to yourself your actions, realize the impact, become a better person than you are. You owe her that much at least. And another person says, you should be the one who's dead. Some soul, even
Yeah, for real. Dude.
slightly better than you, is worth living. Remember this till the day you die. You don't deserve to live. You don't deserve happiness. Even death won't free you.
Jesus. I mean, I don't disagree with that guy. I mean, he went a little harsh. I wouldn't have said it like that, but jeez, man. Yeah. Why am I getting so many ads? What?
EVE Online is a vast...
And do you know what's scarier than some of these Reddit threads? Not having some extra cash on. One commenter says, throwaway for obvious reasons. When I was 12, I was babysitting for a family in my subdivision. There were 2 little girls and a baby. I had experience babysitting, but wasn't great with babies. I was real nervous and not the most responsible / adult kid anyway. The kids were sitting on the living room floor reading, and the baby started crying from her crib. I picked her up and took her into the kitchen to warm up her milk bottle in the microwave. I simply dropped her. I've been over this 1,000 times in my head, and there is no other way I can explain it. I dropped her, and her head hit the tile floor.
Okay, bro. See, like, that just ruined my day. Oh my god, bro. It may not be his fault, bro, but Jesus, baby.
She was very clearly dead immediately. The weirdest part is how calm I felt.
Oh my god.
Like I turned into a robot. I told the girls to go to the basement immediately and called my dad and told him what happened. Then I sat at the kitchen table for 10 minutes while he came over. He drove the girls to our house to be with my mom, then drove me and the body to the hospital. Obviously, nothing could be done.
That was a waste of a life. I know, bro.
I was not charged because it was ruled an accidental death. There was a chance I could have been charged with criminally negligent manslaughter, but was not, in part because of my age. This was several decades ago, and I still feel it every day. I am a woman, and do not think I can ever have children because of it.
No.
The family moved, but until they did, I had to throw up every time I drove past their house or saw one of them in the community. And now let's get into some of the relevant comments. Someone says, holy shit, what was the family's reaction? And the OP replies and says, I did not have to deal with this much. My dad called them from the hospital. It was the middle of the afternoon and they were both at work. This was over the summer and both my parents were teachers. I know that it was not a good experience for him, but we have never really talked about it. My mom came and picked me up from the hospital, and my dad stayed while they came over. I will never be able to repay him for doing that. I think he thought I was 12 and it would not help to see the parents in hysterics. I saw them at the wake and funeral about a week after it happened.
How do you just drop a baby, bro? How do you just drop a baby? Oh my god, dude. Yo, Chad, I might get off stream after this. I'm gonna go hang out with my friend after
this.
We're
a middle-sized suburb, so people knew that it happened while I was sitting. But to the parents' credit, they never said anything nasty about me. Or at least I never heard anything like that. It was considered a tragedy in our community. And some kids at school called me baby killer and other real original stuff. But most people were sensitive enough to not say anything or just give me a hug / pity eyes. At the wake, the mom came up to me and hugged me and told me that she didn't blame me.
Oh, dang.
That was pretty much the
I'm lucky just mad, bro. How could you drop a baby?
Only time we spoke about it. They moved about a year and a half after it happened. And this next one is very, very disturbing. So viewer discretion is advised, and just trigger warning, this one is...
Trigger warning? Oh my god, that might be for me, dude. That might be just like red flashing lights on my face right now.
Graphic. Let's get into it. I am an active predator.
Bro. Yo, I can't do it, bro. I can't like, dude, I can't. This is so bad. All right, you know what? We're just gonna do it.
Before the morality police jump
That's a trigger warning for me. Like
on me, I'll point out that this is the Confessions subreddit, and that I'm posting because I normally have to keep this a secret, and I felt like it'd just be liberating to just say openly what I'm into. And
I think the way it happened is that his subconscious overrode his conscious. It does happen when the subconscious is what's always making those do it requests in the back of your mind. Yeah, I can see what you mean, but I don't. Yo, Charles! Oh my, yo, this story's about to piss me off, bro.
And if you want to be
okay, just a little warning, guys. I'm going to talk a lot in this, because
and judgmental, you can just go F off. I know that my preference
If you want to be retarded and judgmental, you can just go F off. Dude, you're a pedophile. Like, what do you mean judgmental? Yes, you're right. This is the confession subreddit. We have the right to judge you. True, dude. I don't think there's anything he can say that will, like... I don't think there's anything he can say.
and actions aren't consistent with traditional morality, but of course, that's all relative to culture. And it's just been my bad luck to live in a time and place where my preferences are considered taboo. So, I'm an active predator, which means that I regularly have intimacy with minors.
My preference is for children between the ages 7 and 12. Yo, if I could actually, like... Oh, I'm not gonna say that on YouTube. If I could, like, find this guy, bro, I would, like, beat him to death, bro.
Preference is between single digits and low teen years. And also, just another disclaimer, I will be censoring a lot. I am not getting into everything he said because truly, this is one of the worst confessions I have ever read, and it is just disgusting.
Okay.
I will not read everything. I will censor a lot of it, but I'll just get into
I get it.
the gist of it.
I get it.
But let's continue.
I
Professionally, I am a minor psychologist. I have 2 PhDs, and I work part-time as an adjunct at a major research university. Obviously, it's part of my job to understand how minors think, and my work has put me in contact with hundreds of minors over the years. I have only had intimacy with a small percentage of them, those whom I can be responsibly confident won't tell anyone, and whom I believe may enjoy the experience. And I'm going to skip a little bit, and he says, in general...
Of course, child is a complex issue, but while I find it fascinating from a scientific point of view, my desire to is basically independent from my scientific professional interest in them. And in general, I don't care whether my actions will harm the person when I choose to get intimate with them. Maybe this is the worst confession I've ever read.
I don't care whether my actions will harm the minor when I choose to get intimate with him or her. I have 2 daughters.
You don't deserve that.
Both aged very young. I have never violated the one. The older
He's gonna get the chair for sure. Dude, I want to have him get worse than the chair.
one, who's still a teenager.
I've never...
Their mother, my wife, died from breast cancer 3 years ago.
Yo, dude, if the kids see this, dude, run away. Oh my god.
The other one goes to a boarding school in Michigan where she studies flute. I have been having regular intimacy with the younger one since she was single digits.
Yo, you're like Satan reincarnated. I'm about to cry right now.
I don't necessarily prefer boys or girls. Both are attractive to me. I've always been attracted to minors since I myself was a minor. I guess as I grew older, I never stopped finding people of that particular age range desirable.
Yo, like my face is twitching right now, bro.
Suppose I generally prefer consensual intimacy, although I also find forced scenarios.
Playing on iPhone? Now you can play Unlocked on PC with Google Play Games.
Dude, this is so bad. I wish I just stopped streaming, bro.
So intriguing. I don't keep a tally, but I'd estimate that I've had some form of contact with 50 to 60 minors. And then it gets into graphic detail of the amount he's had full intimacy with.
Oh my god, bro.
Etc. I can't even say this. It's so gross. He says, I would classify 5 of those encounters as R-word, but the vast majority were in the gray area of consent.
Gray area, dude.
I suppose something that some readers may find interesting is that I have met several other predators who have similar preferences to mine. I suppose that many of you would be surprised about several things that I've learned in my interactions with other predators.
No, I'm not, bro.
First, about how many secret predators there are, how exceedingly common this preference is. And I'm not even going to read the second and third reason.
Second, how... Oh
and he
my
said,
god.
Is how easy it is to get away with it in a society that basically treats predators like witches. If anyone wants to ask me details, note, I will not stupidly reveal any identifying information, so don't bother trying to trick me into giving up my address. Then feel free to DM me.
Dude, actually, I hope you die. Oh my god, dude. The things I would do to this guy if I knew him. Like, if I knew where he was at, dude, the things I would do. You don't even know, man.
And I'd be happy.
And I'm not, like, trying to be like Timmy Tough Knuckles, bro.
To answer questions. And the OP's profile was shortly taken down after his post. But let's get into some of the top comments. Someone says, this is one of those things you hope is a troll.
Yeah.
If it's then, OP needs to die in a fire. I can't even begin to describe how sociopathic this whole thing reads. I was never abused. I had other shit, but not intimately. My stuff messed me up enough as it was. I can't even imagine what this could have done to the victims. And a lot of the other comments are just people also saying they're predators. And I think it's other people actually confessing to being a predator. It's horrific. It's disgusting. And this is what I say in every single video I've included a predator confession. Like, there's so many predators out there. It's horrifying. Like, you guys truly need to be careful who you talk to on the internet, because you never know who they might be or what their intentions might be. And you just, if you're a parent or if you're a minor yourself, just be super careful about what your own kid is looking at on the internet, who they talking to, what websites are they using. Because, I mean, like...
Dude, these type of people that get me, like, scared to have, like, kids.
People are everywhere. And it's disgusting. And that's why I usually like to include a predator confession, because then it just drives home the fact that there's so many out there, and you just need to be careful. I mean, whether it's your little brother, little sister, your cousin, just please be checking on what they're doing online, because the internet is a dangerous place, and there is so many...
Dude, I gotta make sure because my little cousin has a phone. She's like 10. I gotta... Dude, and I know it's not, like, my responsibility, bro. I just hope nothing like this is happening. This is horrifying.
Vile human beings on the internet. So yeah, just guys, stay safe, please. And all of these people need to rot in prison for the rest of their life. God, just beyond disgusting.
Wow, dude, what a way to end stream, man. What a way to end stream, dude. That's... I don't know how to feel right now, man. I'm really, really messed up right now. I knew, like, a predator confession would mess me up, bro. But that was bad, man. That was bad. Hey, bro, watch your, make sure, bro, like, make sure you're, like, whoever younger than you, bro, make sure they good, man. Make sure they're not doing anything on the internet. Monitor that stuff, man. And, yeah. Sorry I'm ending stream early, man, but that just messed me up. So, see y'all later, man. Appreciate you, Obsidian, for being engaged in the chat, man. It means a lot. I'll see y'all later, bro. Everybody have a blessed day, man. Watch out for the internet, man. Watch out.